Morning already? How long was I out? Oh, now I know what's going on here. Woo! I can see for miles!
Hello?
Sup, loser?
Oh, loser?
Yeah! I was looking for a legend, and you're clearly not one.
Oh, sorry to hear.
Hey, you want to hear a joke that isn't gay?
No, not really.
You'll love it though. Peanuts. Do you know what rhymes with peanuts?
I don't care.
These nuts! That was probably the most idiotic and autistic thing that I've ever done. Except the time I made a stupid DeviantArt post about dabbing. I'm being sarcastic about that, although there's probably somebody out there who did that. Anyways, I'm gonna alleviate the shame of acting like a little kid by reviewing a show that has lots of little kids. Literally just started this review and already I'm getting a string of relatability. Maybe it's that, geez, I don't know. I grew up in a big family? Might have something to do with that. And by the way, I do mean in real life. It's not just some stupid OC backstory. Honestly, Nickelodeon going with this concept is like a drunk guy gambling. It's not that the chance is bad, it's that Nickelodeon wasn't in a good spot then. Since the green light though, Nickelodeon has gotten a lot more metaphorically sober. The only other media I've ever seen that portrayed a big family was 19 Kids and Counting, and that's actually based off a real story. So now, let's see if The Loud House will make you love big families, or if you want to keep this show out of your house. The plot might just look like the typical misadventures of this huge family, but it's a lot more than that. It mainly revolves around middle child Lincoln Loud, a quirky but clever boy who tends to suffer from his sister's antics. Now, to the typical viewer, this might seem pretty terrible for Lincoln. And I'll admit, the first few episodes had bad storylines. However, it's also true that shows tend to improve after the first few episodes. Want to guess what happened here? The main difference in the following episodes was a better outcome for our protagonist, aka Lincoln Loud. Writing tone, another component in the show, is very unique to any show I've ever seen. It's a slice of life show with comedy, yes, but the way the characters are written really shows a lot of exceptional character expression. For the simple viewer, it's something they will vastly enjoy. There are plenty of characters for me to explain. We have Lincoln, who I've already talked about being the witty middle child as well as the only male sibling. And then we also have Lori, the oldest sister, who is your stereotypical sarcastic bossy but also spoiled teenage girl. Also, keep in mind, all the sisters are based off of stereotypes for comedy. Then there's Lenny, aka the dumb blonde. Luna, the stereotypical punk rocker who is also a fag. I guess this show would find some way to be edgy. The most ironic part about that fact is that most large families are super traditional, so it's not even something that happens a lot. Moving on. We also have Luann Loud, who is supposed to be the Joker and stand-up comedian. Personally, I hope that her jokes were supposed to be bad on purpose, cause they are really bad. Then there's Lynn Loud. She's the family athlete, and no duh, acts incredibly competitive. Then there's Lucy, the goth child. At first I thought goth children were almost as rare in big families as gay kids, but recently I did meet one, so I'll give them some credit. Then there's Lana and Lola, who are twins. One acts boyish, the other acts extremely girly. Wow. My mind is blown. Then we have Lisa, who is pretty much Anais from the Amazing World of Gumball. She's nerdy for her age and it's very unusual. The main difference from Anais is that she sounds 20 years old. And finally, we have the baby, who literally does nothing but act like a baby. It's just amazing. I've never seen a better character before. I mean, I'm just mind blown. And of course, the loud parents, who aren't loud at all for some reason. Haha, so funny. There are supporting characters, but they're not that memorable, except for Clyde, this friend of Lincoln who has a crush on his older sister Lori, who, keep in mind, is a lot older than him. Strange friend. The show looks perfectly animated for a comedy, not overly detailed, but from the designs you can tell plenty of work went into it, and although I do like lots of detail, that is just a preference, not a requirement for the show. It seems whatever crew animated the episodes were really experienced, as I didn't see any errors and the FPS was really impressive. The Loud House is pretty good, honestly. I have my reservations with it, and it's probably not something that I'll spend days on end watching, but I do watch it now and then, and I'm glad Nick is trying something new. I also don't like the intro, which is hilarious because almost every review I've seen is pretty much glorifying it as some amazing thing, which by the way is fine. It's just a preference. So for my final rating, I'll give the show a 7 out of 10. It has a good storyline, the comedy is okay, at least when the jokes aren't from Luann. The intro annoys me, and Luna is gay. That's all I have to talk about. Thanks for watching. Mystic out.